My dear viewers and listeners, today I'm very excited to have with me Didier Maugin, Akka Devarshi Das from France. And he has been following the Bhagavad Gita lifestyle from last 30 years. Are you excited? I am. Me too. I'm also very excited. So let's hear from him few secrets, principles that he has been applying in his life, and he is leading a happy, peaceful, and very inspirational life. Okay, welcome, Devarshi Das, for this episode.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the invitation. Okay.
So, I would like you to, introduce yourself like a little bit. That will help us to know about you.
Yes. Actually, I am born in France, in 1954. And I did a BSc. I was interested by mathematics when I was younger. And after around 21, I decided in my life not to involve into any work, study, or getting married without knowing what is the goal of my life. So I started a little traveling, especially in France. At that time, I was not able to speak any English.
Oh,
very simple. And I get in touch with some devotee in 1978. Human Satoshi Prabhupada left his body. And I was 3 days in their place, just like inquisitive. And actually, they gave me a Bhagavad Gita, small one in French, no Sanskrit. Only
can I interrupt you, please? Can I interrupt you?
Of course.
What is that inquisitiveness you had? I mean, you had good education and you were running your life. What was that inquisitiveness you had? Could you please share with us?
It's mean I am from a village, and I'm a little used to a simple life. So I realized that when I was studying in the city, that many people were not balanced. And I was thinking, is the life, what is the goal of this life in my approach? And why everybody is speaking about happiness, but no one is happy, frankly speaking. So I become inquisitive. I was saying, I'm born in a Catholic tradition, quite deep, So I was asking many questions to the priest, but it was like, in a small village. For India, village means less than 1 lakh of people. But in my country, my village was having like 500 people. So we know each other. And the priest of the village, he knows everything about, the people there. And I was asking so many questions. How is the creation of the universe? What is the quality of God? How to not only to have faith, but to realize something about, our own identity. And in the Christian tradition, many answers are like that. It is a mystery.
There's no clarity.
Yes. This is why I was not satisfied with the answer, and I took the decision. Okay, let me take some time. I was thinking a few months, but it took me a few years actually to try to find some more satisfying answer for my life.
And I have one more question. What about, see in the West, people are into meat eating, intoxication, and a few other vices, like bad habits.
Yes.
And were you part of it, or you were like, away from all those vices? How was your life before you came in touch with Bhagavad Gita?
But yes, but nowadays the situation has changed from when I was a young one.
Mm.
When I was young, when you are in a village, you need to live with what you have.
Mm.
And it was mainly vegetable, lot of potato. Remember, lot of thing. Meat actually at that time means about 60 years ago, 50 years ago, meat was not so prominent.
Oh.
Because in the village life, people are accustomed to use these animals, cows, pigs like that. So they kill animals, but they don't take meat every day.
Mm.
So I was actually myself from my own experience. Maybe I was taking meat 1 or 2 times a week.
Mm.
Now the life has fully changed.
Mm.
Because most of the people, even if they live in village, they don't live with animals over the countryside. They live in village and they work in the city
Mm.
nowadays. But, before, I remember quite well, that the people were very simple, and we know each other. At that time, no phone, no internet, no Zoom, but it was a very, very individual relationship. So this I value a lot, in my life.
Mm.
So it was like when you are with some people, you discuss, okay, what is your name? What are you doing? What is your goal of life? Simple question when we have a personal relationship. But so in one sense, I was not too degraded in comparison to now.
Mm.
And in my Christian tradition, we have some value, like to accept authority,
Yes. Mm.
especially in Catholic tradition,
Mm.
accept the principle of authority, to recognize the priest is another level than us. So it was,
That's nice.
yes, it was important. It was some values that I received from my beginning of life.
Mm. This is especially prominent in France, or because I have interviewed few from US and Russia and other countries, and they all said that they were into gross meat eating and things like that. So I was wondering, like, how was it in France? How is it in
No,
France? Like,
no.
they're like,
Actually, in France, for example, it's mainly a country with a lot of agriculture.
mm,
There are many villages in France. You do like 4 or 5 kilometers, you find another village.
oh,
Means a village means like a church in the village.
mm,
You know, and people are mainly in agriculture.
mhm,
So it is why France actually, when you go in the world like America, Russia, France is when people want to take holiday.
mm,
France is the first country for holiday.
okay.
Yes, it's strange because it is a small country. It's like Bengal, maybe 70 million people only. It's not a big, huge country, but because it's there is some type of I think way of life that is uh, close to nature. Because we have the beach, we have the sea in France, no problem for that. We have some mountain, and we have a lot of countryside.
Mm,
So it's very different from America. In America, you can drive for 1 hour without seeing anybody. In
mm.
America, but here you can even if you walk for 1 hour, you are going to meet people.
And what about belief in God in people in France? I mean, except for the priest, do they accept
Yes,
this higher authority of God, creator, like that? Do they?
it's mean in the Christian tradition, especially Catholic tradition.
Mm-hmm.
For the Catholic, God is like a father,
Oh.
and we
Mm.
are son. like Jesus Christ. You know? It is why there is a difference of level between God and us. And because if you see every 5 kilometers a village with a church, it means in order to build a church, like in India to build a temple, the people must be convinced of the utility of that. And the churches are very old, so it means that people were working a lot to put some helping to build a church. And now in the like 200, 300, 400 years ago, it was a custom in good family in France to have quite a few children, 6, 7 children, you know, like that. But at least one for the army and one for the priest.
Oh,
yes, it's interesting, huh? You know?
Very interesting culture.
Yes, but nowadays, now for the priest, for example, there is many people in the job. They have many people in the world. They have no job. So the priestly order have some employment, you know.
Now they do it for money.
Now in France, we have also priests coming from Africa.
Oh.
Sometimes from India also, Pakistan. Yes, because it's really we need, you know, priest is a very important position because we need if we want to develop relation with God, we need to have a person who is a little closer, you know, who can help us to
one who can connect normal subjects, people to God, right?
Yes,
the connection.
yes.
The priest establishes that connection.
Yes. It's
very
important.
Interesting, Prabhu.
Nowadays, you know, it's very different because people are living in cities. The village has less agriculture, more people from different culture coming to France, so it is a mixing of something. But generally, the culture is diminishing now. But I was lucky to be born very far away.
More power to you. Okay, so at one point of time you met someone and then you came in touch with Bhagavad Gita. So how was it like to receive the Gita in your,
yes, I can explain something with really connected, and it shows something very important principle. It means when I was trying to look for something, I was traveling in France, I was hitchhiking, no money. I was working only for making a little money to live for the year. And one time I saw in a park, I was in Brittany, I saw something wonderful. Like today is Shanta Panchami. So I see a lady dressed in sari. I never saw that before. In my village, there is no sari, you know. So I was looking the person like that, what is this? So, something from another world, you know. And that person, after approached me, you know, I was sitting in some place, and she spoke to me in French. She was from America. She was from Hare Krishna movement. Her name is Aditi, actually, Aditi Devidasi, Prabhupada disciple. And she told me, I said, what is this cloth, you know? What is this? I never saw that. And it was I remember quite well, it was no lost in my mind. It was just amazing to see all the color, you know. And she told me, I'm from Hare Krishna. Do you know Krishna? I said, no. Who is this Krishna? And we discussed a little bit like that, you know. She gave me a small magazine. And after, I was inquisitive. Just what is this Krishna? And after she told me, if you want, at the end of the day, I came to the city with my husband, and if you want, you can go back with us for a few days in our village. So I did that. At the evening, I was, and they were driving to a very small village when they have cows. You know, it was a Prabhupada disciple couple, you know. So they had cows. He was a big Sankirtan devotee, the devotee, Jayakul Prabhu. And he left for just taking care of the cows. And I stayed 3 days in their place, and at the end, he gave me the Bhagavad Gita. And he gave me the Bhagavad Gita in such a way that it was like a very special gift. Very special gift, you know. And it was in French because I did not understand English at the time. And when he gave me that, I was leaving the place to some other part of France. And one time I decided to read the Bhagavad Gita. I was working a lot. I was in my country, since there is a lot of agriculture, I was taking the strawberries, many strawberries in some part of France. So I was taking some strawberries, sometimes eating, no, but putting like that. And actually, I make for 15 days, I try something. I said, okay, I can read this book, and the book is, and this devotee were telling me the importance to be vegetarian. So I decided to be vegetarian fully for 15 days, living only for like, it was summer season, it was nice, huh? Like eating fruits, taking bread, butter, and milk, only that. And I was reading Bhagavad Gita, and I was working about 12 hours a day. You know? And I did not chant Hare Krishna at that time, but I was reading, you know? And I understand almost nothing.
Oh.
Because the first chapter, you know, Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, Pandava, what is this? I did not even get in touch with any of these names before. But there is one verse which changed my life. It is in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 66. You know? It is said, I'm reading the book, Nasti buddhi ayuktasya nachayuktasya bhavana chabhavayata shantir ashantasya kuta sukam. Srila Prabhupada explained in translation, one who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? So that verse changed my life.
Amazing.
Because I took the verse in the other way. If we want to become happy, we need to be peaceful. In order to be peaceful, we need to control the mind, intelligence, and for that we need to know ourselves. And this verse really was like a shock in my mind. And since I was doing some like study in science, you know, it was perfect for me. And after I have been to some places in ISKCON in Switzerland and France, but I did not get inspired by the devotee. So after that, I said, okay, let me go to India to see there are some people who are practicing this Bhagavad Gita. So I came to India.
Which year was that you flew to India?
I came, I met the devotee in 78, you know. And I came to India in 79. And I came to India 4 times before joining ISKCON. I need to be convinced to join ISKCON.
So now
I learned English in India.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, you came to India and then learned English. Wow.
And I was actually, I made a very special experience. I have a few experiences before joining ISKCON in India. And I came to Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram Mandir, in 1980. It was very simple, you know, no building around, no shops, only one little shop, Nimbupani was there, you know. And I decided, by Krishna's arrangement, I did not saw the deity in Krishna Balaram Mandir, because I think it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was closed. But after I've been back to Mathura, and I stayed 15 days in Mathura.
Oh.
Without, just because I like the place, and speaking to nobody because nobody understands French in this part of the world. But after many years, when I was studying Bhakti Shastri, I realized that it is said in Nitya devotion that if we stay at least 15 days in holy place like Mathura, we can change our life. So I experienced that before joining ISKCON.
Mm. Very
And it's
interesting.
yes, it's actually it is because here when we follow the Vedic tradition, even myself, I am, I did not know what it was before, but it's really it's working.
It transforms one, a person's
Yes,
consciousness,
yes,
right? It purifies
yes,
the layers that are within us,
yes,
many
yes,
layers of consciousness. Oh,
yes.
that's an amazing journey. But now I would like to know now, what is that paradigm shift now? Like, now it's been 30 years, you're living that
Like Arjuna,
kind of Gita. How is it now?
Hare Krishna. Yes, it was a little cutting, huh? Now it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
Did you
So
hear?
actually, it's like Arjuna. What I am realizing in life, for me and for many people, we come to the material world because we want to be God, want
Mm,
to and control and enjoy. And the way to get out the material world is to do like Arjuna.
mm,
Like in Bhagavad Gita, there is 18 chapters. And the first chapter is called in Sanskrit,
mm.
Vishada Yoga.
Vishadayam. Huh.
This is the yoga the most popular in the world.
Mm,
It is the yoga of depression.
mm.
Yes. And it took for Arjuna about 45 minutes to become fully Krishna conscious. So for me, when I get in touch with the Bhagavad Gita, and after meeting the devotee after I joined ISKCON in 1981, I realized that actually the books are not only for selling. We need to apply ourselves. And when in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, and at the end, surrender to Krishna. So there are quite a few steps
Mm.
before that. So I, I, I become interested to study the topics little, quite deeply, according to my understanding,
Mm.
how to understand Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Mm.
So now that I'm student in Mayapur of some quite advanced study with Gurukul, Vedanta Academy, I realize that we are studying how to study.
Sorry, what is this Mayapur, this Bhaktivedanta Academy? Can you please briefly say
Yes.
words?
In Mayapur, we have two things. We have Bhaktivedanta Academy and Mayapur Academy. Different thing. Mayapur Academy is for the deity worship, to
Okay.
learn how to become a prayer. And Bhaktivedanta Academy is the name of the Gurukul in Mayapur. And
Okay.
in the Gurukul, they have two systems. We have the ordinary Gurukul, means teaching the children, like for Gurukul traditional. And since about 11 years, they have adult education. For
Mm.
people like me who have not been to Gurukul, so there is a second chance. So we study with the Vedic principle.
Second chance for any age group.
Yes, especially for old people like me. So I am like maybe the oldest Gurukuli in Mayapur, like that. And when I get in touch with this study 11 years ago, at that time I was also in the same way that when I was before joining ISKCON, I was looking for something going deeper into my spiritual life, same attitude. And I met, Mayapur Academy, I met Bhakti Vidya Swami. And now he's like my teacher, and we are the same age, so we know each other like that. And it is mainly to understand how we can succeed in our life. according to our different background, different varna, different ashram, different culture, like that.
Different
Because
nationalities and
yes,
different colors of the skin, all that.
it's mean, yeah, it's mean if Krishna is God,
Mm.
is the Bhagavad Gita is for everyone, is the Veda for every people. So there is. It's important to know how to assimilate this teaching in our own life.
Mm.
From any background, it can be, anyone, cities, village, eating meat, not eating meat, Smarta Brahman in India, or, Christian in the West, or Muslim like that. If Krishna is God, and if the Vedas are perfect, if it is not present in such a way that everybody can elevate his own Krishna consciousness, it's imperfect. So in science, we say like it is a postulate, theorem, like that. If we are looking for the absolute truth, it must be perfect, no mistake.
Mm. It's a
Otherwise,
universal science, it's a universal, timeless wisdom.
yes, yes. So now, how to see this universal wisdom through the Bhagavad Gita, and how to sometimes people say, yes, in India, it's very often, Bhagavad Gita, I know, I have a few versions of Bhagavad Gita, I know a few verses like that, I am Hindu like that. But I realize that the person who knows Bhagavad Gita, there is a distance between the knowledge and the realization.
Mm.
Even us as aspiring devotee, okay, we know the Bhagavad Gita, some people know by heart. Myself, I don't know by heart at all the Bhagavad Gita. I knew a few verses. But I realized that after getting in touch with the knowledge, with the book, or by hearing, it's not automatic to say, okay, now I read, I know, I realize. There's something between. And in Sanskrit, we call manana.
Mm.
Manana means meditation. So, okay, I have with me the Bhagavad Gita in front of me. Okay, so I can read, okay, I can understand the meaning. Now, I need to know if this is true.
Mm.
It can be true for some people and not for other one. It can be true for some people in the past, but not now.
Mm.
Like this is a problem with the Bible, we have or the New Testament, because the scripture little old. We don't know actually how much time more or less, But after it's not so practical for the present nowadays, Like in Bible, they say, okay, the creation is like 7 days. God
Mm.
was working 6 days, and Sunday he relaxed. It's okay when we are like simple person or young person, but when we want to, if a person is a scientist, is little short of the answer is little short.
Mm.
So actually, in the Veda, the Vedic approach is we have the knowledge, and now we can develop how to understand that knowledge. How can we meditate on that knowledge? Is it true for everyone,
Mm.
past and present? Is it true? And after the next question is this true for me?
Mm.
Because the knowledge can be true for you, but not for me. No, the same one. Huh? And when it's become true for us,
Mm.
then the mind is convinced.
Amazing, amazing.
And when the mind is convinced, we can practice. And if I practice, we realize.
So let me reiterate what you just now said. So in order to accept Gita, people have doubts, to accept any knowledge. So first of all, we learn it, and then we meditate on that knowledge, that what we have learned, like trying to understand it, trying to
Yes.
understand it with our knowledge and with our intelligence, and then actually apply it or implement that knowledge in our life to see whether it holds true or not to me.
Yes. Yes. And when it is positive for you, that there is no doubt you are convinced.
Amazing. So then I have a next question for you then. So, now people are living such a crazy life. You know it.
Yes.
It's there. People are stressed, and then there's pressure, and especially after the lockdown, and of course the lockdown system is still on. There's pressure. People are suffering financially, emotionally, and then how the pollution is, and this global warming. So many things going on at the same time. And is
Yes.
there any formula for stress management in Bhagavad Gita, like in few simple words, If you can
Yeah.
share that this formula, I guess, stress management formula, I guess, the audience will be benefited with that.
How many words do you want?
Okay.
No, I can say in 2 words.
Oh,
Varnashram Dharma.
okay. Can you please
So I'm taking another direction. It is well known that to control the mind, Krishna explained many things in chapter 6. So you can study this chapter 6, but I realize that not everybody is able to study. This is why Krishna said, in the 4th verse, he's creating the Varnashram Dharma. Krishna himself is creating this system. So if we are like mentality of Shudra, there is no need to study so far.
I mean, I
Like
didn't.
in India, yeah.
What is this Varnashram Dharma?
Varnashram Dharma means maybe I can read the verse is better. It's always better to start from the beginning, from Krishna said, So Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 13. Catur-varnyam srstam guna-karma-vibhagasah tasya kartaram viddhi akartaram avyayam. According to the 3 modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the 4 divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So Krishna is speaking. So he explains that according to the different influence that we have on ourselves, like the 3 gunas are mainly the goodness, passion, and ignorance. And according to the 3 gunas who are on us, we have some propensities, some nature to work according to our qualification. So like we can, like in the world, when I was young, when I get my BSc, I was the 2nd person in the village to have a BSc. So it was like a PhD now, Nowadays, BA, BSc just to go to university. And many people have a master, PhD and have no work. So it's mean in France nowadays, many people study something, but they are working with another system. So it's mean losing many years in life. In India, same thing I've seen. Many people are very, want to have a degree, but are we qualified? This is a question. This is why Varnashram Dharma is to follow the orders of Krishna, the 4 Varna, means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmana means like priestly, intellectual. Kshatriya means not politicians nowadays. Brahmana are supposed to study and teach. Kshatriya are supposed to have the same training as Brahmana, but help the Vedic culture to be put into society and to protect the society. It's not to make money. The Vaishya are supposed to create food for the society. Business is not the main activity for Vaishya. It's car protection and food. Business is for low class. And after Shudra is for assisting. So if I realize that about this question, because nowadays many people, especially the young people, they are speaking about stress, or the word anxiety. And if we follow the Varnashram Dharma, we are happy, materially speaking. We are satisfied. And after, if we want to become satisfied, spiritually speaking, so we need to go to the, can say, the bhakti, the devotion to God. But the two can be done in the same time. Because even sometimes the devotee, they try to be happy in their Krishna consciousness. But I see with the coronavirus, many devotees are more in anxiety than before.
Okay, what is that practical aspect of Varnashrama Dharma if we apply, then that helps us relieve the stress?
It means first to know what is our situation. Where are we in this Varna and this ashram? Where are we? And this is if you remember, this is a question I was asking myself before I took to ISKCON. I don't want to do anything in my life, no study. I stopped my study. I was working only to maintain the body like that, not involved into conjugal relationship, like that, free. Before to get involved in life. Because if we don't, if we become involved too early in life without knowing what is our nature, we are going to play a role, drama. And sometimes it's a painful drama for us. So we need to know where we are, because we are a living entity, animal. They just live for basic need to eat, to sleep, to mate, and to defend if they are, if we attack them. But we do the same thing as human beings. But if we want to know a little the goal of our life, we need to go a little deeper. Is there some meaning about life? And since it is Krishna system, this is the best system. In the West, even we try some other system, it's not working. And it's been thinking about this stress management, stress difficulty, since many years. I'm really convinced that even to develop, can say, Western approach, with Western psychology, is little helping, but it's not going deep.
So what does it Western that psychology say about
psychology? Means okay, if you are stressful, means you need to relax, sleep more, and be more. Just let your body act. Relax and just let the body take the priority, because the stress is not in the body, it's in the mind. So actually, they just say, okay, we diminish the influence of the mind, and we just let the body act naturally, like an animal, more or less. So this is good for some time, but after you let for some time, and after maybe you produce some other reaction, and after you have more problem. And there is one thing in the Bhagavad Gita that for me is very important to facilitate a better life. It is to not only to be vegetarian, but to offer our food to Krishna. Because if we don't do that, according to Krishna, we eat only sin. And we cannot be happy, we can just dream about no stress life. No stress life, it's mean Vaikuntha, no anxiety. This is a spiritual word. This is a place where there is no stress. But here, we can diminish the difficulty in life by having a bit better, more practical approach of life. Like that, even food we are eating every day, but sometimes people eat in a hurry because no time, of course. But it means if we have a job and go to work takes 1 hour going back and coming back 1 hour, probably it's not the right work. Probably it's not the right atmosphere. Probably it's not the right our nature. But there is also in the modern life, if I compare to my when I was very young, in the village, the value was not money.
Oh.
No. And it was more relationship.
Relationship.
It was, I have been witness myself when a person has a farm. Sometimes we need a lot of work for the crops, and it's same time. So people were helping each other, and no money, no paid. It's a change. So, okay, I help you one day, you help me one day. So this is the village life in any country of the world. But in the city life, it's not at all like that. So it is a question of value. What value we have in life. It's why the best. It means this is what I understood for me. It means we need to have to accept our position where we are and try to find some good association in order to make progress. It can be for the material value, spiritual value, principle are the same.
Wow, I mean, that was a really deep concept. It's still sinking in me. Thank you. Thank you.
You can think, meditate, think it, apply.
Can I really implement it, right? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And Prabhuji, just one last thing. Do you have any one practical advice for my audience, so that we can um, grow into a happy person, like a peaceful person? Please suggest practical advice. Please give a practical advice for my audience.
Yes. I can give something very practical, very jolly. It is life is a drama. You just need to play the life. You just need to play the drama.
Oh, life is like a
So
drama. Okay.
drama, yes. And actually, like if everybody likes to see drama, movie, and theater like that, when it is when done, we feel inspired like that, And it's been if we see that life is a drama from the beginning of our life till the end, we are here like I don't know in English marionette. I mean, like okay, I do that because I react to something, so I do that. But in order to understand how life is working, we need to we can just see how other people are working, and by seeing, hearing, we can decide for our life. What do I want in this life? Because we are actually, even if there are situations that the world is changing, still we are the driver of our own plane. Still, if there is some people say yes, I'm perfect, but the COVID is like that. This country, this politician. No. This means this is only for children to do like that. But if we want to become mature, we need to ask the right question: who am I? What I'm doing in this world? And if there is a God, what is looks like? And without this type of, without this, I can say approach, it's almost impossible to be peaceful, because being peaceful is not the goal. To be Krishna conscious is a goal. And if we are Krishna conscious, we are automatically peaceful. It's not possible. This is like Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, in the 5th chapter, 29, the peace formula. We need to recognize that Krishna is the controller, the proprietor, the friend of everyone. If we don't recognize that, there is no peace. It's only a word like that. There is no peace. This is why what I personally, because it is my realization, Bhagavad Gita has changed my life. It's not a joke. So it is my own realization. So I see that if a person read and study regularly Bhagavad Gita, alone or with other people, especially Bhagavad Gita, as it is from Srila Prabhupada, at one verse, one sentence, one word is going to have a change. And this, I know that because I'm teaching Bhagavad Gita in French language. And every time when people start from the beginning till the end, there is one special thing. And the person is going to connect with that thing, and after is going to open something.
So your advice then is clarify your advice for us is to clarify our goal to know who we are.
Yes.
And read Bhagavad Gita as a daily practice.
And if we don't know who we are, we can try to read Bhagavad Gita, and we are going to learn who we are. Because Bhagavad Gita, what is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita? It is a song of God. It is also the song of the happy person. Bhagavan means a happy person, Bhagavan. So if we want to be happy, peaceful like that, this is a book. And it's translated now. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Great insights you have given us. I'm so amazed. I'm speechless now. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
You took out your precious time, to be present here with me. I offer my gratitude to you. Thank you so much.